happy that you accepted, that you found some free time to co-host this with me together, Emma. I'm happy that we are doing this together. And yeah, could you tell us, or could you tell me a bit of where you live and what you teach or your experience,
For
your
sure.
hobbies?
Started teaching children 5 years ago, but now I'm teaching adults most of the time. But I enjoy
Mm.
teaching children a lot. Um, I have two children. One is 9 years old and one is 18 months old. So teaching them how to speak English is my hobby now. Yeah. And right now I live in Ho Chi Minh City. So I hope that I can connect with other teachers that live in Saigon.
Mm.
I have just moved here last year, so yeah, so I don't have many friends here. I feel a little bit lonely. Thank you everyone for joining the event today. I hope that we're gonna have a great time together. Um, how about you, Hector? Can you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes, Emma, thank you. I just found the heart reaction button, so I'm sending some of those your way because it is difficult moving to a new city or starting a new career and doing all that. In my case, I had been in Vietnam for 7 years and I came back to Mexico for a year, went to Europe for 3 months to some education conferences, and I just came back to Hanoi
Mm-hmm.
4 months ago, and it has been a rocket ship of
Oh,
adrenaline, of speed, of meeting old friends, and
huh?
happy to be back in connection
Oh,
with old friends, old teams, and happy to be in here with Twinkl today again.
yeah. Can you speak Vietnamese?
Có thôi, hôm nay chúng ta sẽ ngồi viết English thoải mái lắm.
Wow, that's impressive.
Thank you, Emma. Yeah, I'm happy to share a bit of what I believe to be one of my skills, one of my talents, one of my passions: communication, speech, confidence, body movement, breath, karaoke. I feel that our voice is our superpower. So I'm very happy and excited to be able to share with everybody a bit today.
Oh, Miss Hằng say you can do beatbox, and I
Ờ,
think
nhưng mà phải khởi động một chút, không này thầy cũng dạy các bạn beatbox một chút nhá.
okay.
Vậy
Oh,
vậy
research.
các thầy cô beatboxing đi hả?
Yeah.
I want to say hello to my student Leon. He was joining from Mozambique in Africa. I don't know what time it is there right now, Leon, but thank you for joining. Always happy to meet you and exchange online. And hello to all the teachers joining us in and from Vietnam. Hi, Leon. Hi, Leon's mom. Hola. Hola todos.
Cool. Maybe we can get started now. So first of all, thank you very much everyone for joining us today. So my name is Hang. I'm the country manager of in Vietnam, and it is very honored for us today to have Emma, our ambassador, and Hector, our amazing ambassador. He's been with us for years. And beside the being the Twinkl ambassador, he also run his own link online learners, and also the ambassador of 100 and class in. So he's been in Vietnam for like 10 years, right?
Thôi nào, thôi nào. 7 năm rồi và vừa về với con.
Okay.
Like
Okay,
7
7 năm.
and a half.
He obsessed with Vietnam people, Vietnam culture. So and he can speak Vietnamese. So feel free to speak in Vietnamese if you're not so much confident in your English. Hector is very like amazing teacher. He has a lot of experience with teaching young learners, especially Vietnamese young learners English, how to make them motivated and feel confident. So we invited him today to share with you some top tips from him, and also with the help from Emma to facilitate the talk, and so that we can all learn together from Hector and Emma. So thank you very much, Hector and Emma. We can get started.
Yes.
Thank you, Hang. Bắt đầu thôi, tôi tên là Sơn, giống như Son Goku, phim hoạt hình, bởi vì làm sự giúp thầy giao lưu và kết nối với học sinh nhiều hơn. So you can call me Sơn, or Hector, or Goku, or Thầy. I'm easy. As it has been mentioned before, very kindly and very warm-heartedly by Hang and Emma today, I have been in Vietnam for about 8 years now, but my education career has seen me go to Finland and Germany and Estonia, Denmark, Kenya. It's been amazing. And that's because I believe that your voice can take you places. Not necessarily your accent, your vocabulary, or even your pronunciation, but rather the energy that comes out of you, the eagerness that you have when connecting with others. And let me make this a little bit bigger so I can see. Okay, very good. So yes, I'm a teacher, both online, offline, and today, as you can see, this is not my office. I am in Thai Hai, it's an ethnic village in Thái Nguyên. I'm here with the Learning Project with students from Brighton College in Hanoi. We're playing outdoors, survival, team building skills, which is the most amazing environment to speak freely. Because students have no fear of speaking when they have a common feeling, when they understand their objective, or when they're motivated to say, I'm hungry, I want to play football, I want to take a nap, I'm allergic to peanuts. Whatever it is, there's no fear behind their speech. And we will get into that today. I'm also a voice actor for YouTube in Spanish and English, and a TikToker and a wannabe YouTuber. And as Han mentioned, I run Link Online Learners, which is an online community of education, which you are all welcome to join for free. Exchange with international teachers and students. Just like today, one of my students, Leon, is joining us from Mozambique in Africa. And finally, I am a new member of BNI, Business Network International, here in Hanoi. As you can see, I'm an active person, and I want to showcase that to my students, to my friends, and to everybody. As I mentioned before, your voice is your superpower. And not only if it sounds beautiful or if it has a charm, but rather if you practice it, if you learn how to control your breath, how to pause, how to hesitate, how to emphasize. Your voice can control thousands of people, and that is magic. And that's a bit of what we're getting into today. Let's begin with the word communication. We've heard it một tỷ lần rồi. We know the lợi ích, the lợi thế, we know vì sao, we know the programs, we know all of the movement and the support, but also the pressure that comes to students when learning to communicate. What exactly is communication, and why do I need to learn it? Well, we are going to dig into that today. Before we get into communication, pronunciation, intelligibility, how well others understand you, I want to give an example from my own experience here in Vietnam, and I hope, and I'm sure you can relate to that. The number one reason that Vietnamese students have fear when they speak is not because they are not sure of themselves. It's not because they don't know the language or the words, and it's not because they don't want to. It's because there's this breath behind them, breathing on their neck. It's a lot of pressure, and it comes from parents and even teachers. Con ơi, nói đi, giới thiệu chứng minh cho thầy đi, nói xin chào, nói hello, how old are you? Mẹ, bố, từ từ một chút, phải biết vì sao, phải biết mục tiêu. So, let's get started. Now that we understand, let's get this room talking, chatting, and exchanging. I invite you to take your phone or join me on Mentimeter for an exchange. Okay, so I will stop sharing the PowerPoint and rather share Mentimeter. First, I will share Mentimeter link in the chat box for you if you want to join by your desktop or your laptop. Next, share Mentimeter, present. Okay, I'm going to join by my phone. I invite you to do the same. Okay, bắt đầu thôi. Thank you, everybody. First off, there's a wheel here, and there's a pin. And if you really close your eyes and squint, you can probably see some adjectives of how we're feeling today. I have been outdoors with my students all day, playing football, making rice cakes, learning about medicine. So I am a bit exhausted, but in a powerful way. So I am surprised, optimistic, amused. I am stimulated, to say the least. Optimistic, scared, huh? Không sao, hôm nay thì thử thách, thất bại, thử thách, xử nổi. We will beat it. We will come out successful, content, loving, peaceful. Thank you, everybody. Joyful. Thank you for sharing. Let me ask, and I would open the conversation to somebody, asking you, which is more frightening for you? Standing in front of a crowd of people in person, or standing in front of lights, camera, and action, and have the red camera blinking live in front of you? What is more frightening for you? And if somebody would like to share, please write me in the chat box here on Google Meet to open the conversation to you, please. Oh, Leon! Yes, my student, Leon, please. First off, Leon, what is more frightening for you? Having people in front of you or having a camera? Why?
Having people in front of you, because having people in front of you, you can truly see their actual emotions live in front of your eyes, and you know that there's people. But in camera, you're just looking at a piece of technology, which is a bit less frightening.
That's such a good point, Leon.
The fact that there's a bunch of people in front of you is much more frightening, because you know what they're going to say about you. They're going to be whispering in their ears, and then you can't hear those, so you're basically begging that they're saying some good stuff about you.
Leon, that I couldn't have said that any better myself. I'm going to send you some heart emojis, and everybody here really relates to your point here. Cái nào thì đáng sợ hơn? Đừng camera. Có ai muốn chia sẻ nữa không? I see like a 50-50 here of this and that. Would somebody else like to share their answer and their why?
My name is Huyền and I'm Miss Trần, actually. Anyway, I chose that. That means I'm afraid of being in front of the camera, especially now, you know, without the description, I'm kind of like so worried. My heart is beating so fast now.
Well, you're doing a great job, just like Miss Hang has complimented
Yeah,
you in the
thank you so much. And I think like one of the things I'm afraid of being in front of a camera is that I have to do it over and over the time when I forgot something, and I have to do it again. Yes. But to be honest, I'm also afraid of being in front of a lot of people on the stage. But I'm a teacher, so I have to go over that fear.
You have to suck it up. And you know,
Yes.
Miss Ian, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Believe it or
thank you so
not,
much.
the biggest crowd I've spoken to was 10,000 people. And it's frightening because just like Leon says, you can see them whispering and crossing their arms and yawning, and we're human. It's
Yes.
not about leaving that fear behind. It's not about pretending it's not there. It's about controlling it. That cold sensation in your chest that you feel in your veins, that you have tingly fingers and tingly arms. It's about practice and repetition, because the feeling doesn't go away. It doesn't. Maybe we feel it less than before, but it never really goes away. So it really is about breathing your fear and that energy that you feel inside. Hít vào và thở ra. Và khi thở ra, này là communication. Ở đây là giọng nói của chúng ta. All of this fear inside can go out and can really be powerful.
Thank you so much for sharing.
No, thank you. Thank you, everybody. One final difficult question here. There are hundreds of thousands of amazing public speakers that have given amazing jaw-frozen moment performances. So who would you have lunch with? Who would you love to learn from, to exchange from? And there's no right or wrong answer, everybody. There's no right or wrong answer. We're here to open the conversation again and understand how our perspective or our experience has shaped our answers. And thank you, Ms. Hang. I also love this question a lot. Let's open the mic to somebody in the chat room raising their hand or saying me. Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Adolf Hitler, or Ho Chi Minh? Who would like to share their who and why? Emma, nice to hear from you.
Yeah, I want to share my thoughts. So I think I would like to have lunch with Hitler, because he has the one who's responsible for doing some of the most horrific atrocities in human history, including the genocide of 6 million Jews during the Holocaust. So, you know, like engaging in any form of social interaction with Hitler, that might be like something that feel very scary for many people, right? So I think if I can approach historical figures like Hitler, maybe I can try to talk and understand why he did such a thing. Like nobody can understand. So that's maybe an opportunity in my imagination. Yeah.
And you know, I would choose Hitler too, Emma. I would have lunch with him but for a different reason.
Can you tell?
Not to understand
Why?
why he did that, and not to understand his motivation, but rather to see how he uses his energy. Because when he was on stage, he wasn't shy, and he wasn't cute, and he wasn't asking questions, and he
Yes.
was so firm and confident that millions of people followed him. And that is a skill in itself. So that would be my reason. How did he use his energy to convince, to move so many people? Let's have one more person share. Maybe Gandhi or Ho Chi Minh.
Mhm.
Who would like to speak next?
Please raise your hand, everyone.
And you can write in the chat box as well.
Yeah. Please share with us in the chat box if you don't mind.
Hậu nè.
Difficult question, yeah.
Miss,
Miss,
yeah, Miss Hậu, do you want to talk? Do you want to share about why you have want to have lunch with Ho Chi Minh?
Hello everyone.
Okay.
Ho Chi Minh is my idol. I think so because he's smart, funny, and when he speak with many people, he take care of everyone, and he asks everyone like, "Do you hear me?" or something, and I love it. He share the sympathy to everyone, and everyone will follow him by um, his emotion. I think so. And he is a good ambassador. He good at he's good at talking with many country, many leader of the country, and I love it.
a true leader, an inclusive leader. You see, I see Hitler as a top leader. He doesn't ask opinions. He doesn't ask, he commands. And Ho Chi Minh seems to be more of a community leader.
Yes,
That
yes.
is wonderful. Very interesting, everybody. Thank you. And to close our QR session today, I would love to build a word wall with you. And go ahead and enter 1, 2, or 3 words or tips which you would give to other English language teachers, right? Let's think about this for a second. How to lose the fear when speaking. To smile. Actually, yes, so simple, but just smiling and eye contact can make your conversation so much more efficient, so much more meaningful. Just as easy as smiling and enjoying it and liking what you are doing. Actually, yes, these are tips that I agree with, but these will be tips from this book right here. 50 tips for teaching pronunciation. Sorry, you cannot see it, but
What's the name of the author? I cannot see the cover of the book.
I will write it in the chat box. Mark Hancock. Yeah. Okay. So Mark Hancock, and the series edition is from Scott Thornberry. To be honest with you,
Mark Hancock.
I'll share my opinions and these points, but these are the first 5 tips of this book. So I highly recommend that you look into it. Let's get started, everybody. And please, let's have a conversation in the chat box. Feel free to ask questions we can come back to, or share your own opinions, tips, and suggestions. Very quickly, number one, focus on intelligibility. That is not your pronunciation. Rather, how well others can understand you. Because if I talk like this, but I talk maybe confident, then maybe people can still understand me. So yes, it's terrible, but hey, it's intelligible. It's I can understand it, and that's the goal of communication. Our goal is not to be a British speaker or an American hip hop artist speaker. Can people understand us? Good. Number one is being coherent about outcomes, being realistic, not telling our students, speak like Obama, but rather maybe find a local celebrity, maybe on TikTok, maybe in your own school, maybe the teacher, and relate to them. How did they surpass the challenges of learning English and improving their communication? We can relate more to people that we know rather than superstars and movie personas. Number three, as I've said, is don't obsess on your target models or your accent and, oh, it's chips, not crisps. It's a biscuit, not a cookie. It's not about that. It's about people understanding you. And number four, teachers, I would encourage you to do this as soon as tomorrow or next week, and spend 10 minutes with your students and understand what motivates them. Is it studying abroad? Is it becoming a YouTuber? Is it singing? What is it that motivates them to learn English? Because from the pressure I mentioned before, from parents, from the education system, not only in Vietnam, in general, globally, students lose their motivation because they don't understand why they're doing it. Rather, they're forced into this classroom and they're forced to speak. And that's a formula for failure and for hating the process. Let's get going. As I mentioned before, and as you can see in these beautiful pictures that my students helped me find on Twinkl from the resources, being intelligible is being flexible and interactive, is using your body, your eyes, your breath, pausing, and asking questions like, Ho Chi Minh, do you understand me? Are you following me? It's not just saying it once, but rather repeat yourself. Make sure that the person, the listener, is understanding you. Pronunciation will follow, but energy and eagerness is first. Number two, assess your students not through their accent, not through their vocabulary or their understanding of English, but through the energy that they give when explaining something. I find it very common for Vietnamese students to answer one time. Short, sweet. What's your favorite color? Blue. Ôi, còn ôi, nói lại được không? Nói cả câu được không? Không ai sẽ hiểu gì nếu chỉ nói một lan và nói nhảy, ngắn và nhanh và thôi, không ai sẽ hiểu gì cả. So, explaining that, repeating yourself, not only improves through practice, but it ensures chắc chắn người sẽ hiểu. Because when we repeat, We're using more body, we're using more hands, more eyes. So assess your students' eagerness. Are they easy to repeat themselves? Can they build their idea in different ways? Can they ask questions to the listener? Not only is it speaking out, but it's having this conversation feeling. Let's assess that before pronunciation and accents. It's very tough to learn English and master a target language, a target accent, especially if you're starting at 6, 7, 10, 20. That's not the goal. And if we obsess to forever chase this this diamond in the top of a mountain, we're gonna get discouraged and we're gonna stop and we're gonna feel terrible. But rather, why not have a fun mix? My accent is American. However, if you really listen closely, my r are very strong and clear. And that's because I'm a Spanish speaker. But many people from many countries would have no idea that my American accent is not perfect. People don't ask me twice, not because of my accent, but because of my intelligibility. Because I'm sure that my listener is understanding me 100%. I'm certain of that. And that is the focus. When we go to America, yes, we will understand an American accent, but maybe we won't understand the way that you built your idea, like Tianza or Di Bao, storms and tornadoes. That's so confusing to English speakers. But if you are able to explain that Di Bao is to go celebrate with people, we understand the connection you made. Or we understand that you're speaking wind. Okay, you're able to express your idea clearly. And it's not this perfect word or this perfect accent, but rather an engaging idea that was built. That gives us the assessment. There's pressure for teachers, from schools, from exams, from parents. And yes, there's targets and marks that we chase and want to achieve. And I'm not telling you to change the way you teach. These are just tips. And this is not the best way. This is just a way, a method. But when we lay down that, hey, different accents exist, and there are different countries that may understand you better or worse. However, when you sit with your class, there is something I really want to emphasize on. I'll stop sharing my screen for this. If you have a class with many international students from Germany and Africa, it will be easy to listen to their different accents. However, because most of us teach in Vietnam, and most, if not all, our students are Vietnamese, yes, we understand the mistakes, the ending sounds, the clear t, b, p phonetics. But it's dangerous when a class understands each other in English. What I mean is, if you speak English with a Vietnamese accent, oh, hello, my friend, how are you today? Do you like to go to play football? Yes, I understand you. And yes, you are comfortable. and you don't have fear. But that is dangerous. So stop your class when they become comfortable understanding each other. That's not the objective. The objective is for different accents and different countries to understand you. The objective is not for your classmate to understand you. They speak the same language. They face the same challenges. Of course they will understand you. That's great. Use that support to really take it seriously and focus on that target. Finally, everybody, I hope that today has been enjoyable for you, motivating, and you are ready to go into class tomorrow and incorporate some tips or tricks that we saw today. And I hope that you are able to motivate your learners, not for the first time, but continuously through your years of experience, through your online, offline, outdoors, and through your new hobbies of teaching your newborn children like Emma. It's about finding what motivates us as humans. And to finalize today, we will have a speaking challenge, my friends. Một đam mê của Thầy là đi tập gym, là đi chơi bóng đá. Và các bạn hiểu, thấp cơ bắp phải là liên tục và không có result nhanh đâu. Phải đi rất nhiều năm để có sầu mùi giống như các bạn muốn. So, our tongue, our lips, our throat, our teeth, our breath, they are muscles which we can control, we can make accurate, and we can say it precisely, continuously, and consistently. We know we can practice with karaoke, with tongue twisters, talking to the mirror, recording your voice, TikTok duets, IELTS speaking tasks, samples, listening and repeating. But today, I would like to share a teleprompter and beatbox challenge with you. I invite you to mute your mics, everybody. And imagine you are in VTV, CNN, BBC. You are a journalist. You are reporting about TikTok today. You are sitting in front of a camera, and the teleprompter has your script. The reason a teleprompter is efficient to lose the fear of speaking is because the script is there for you. And you have no fear, but rather you are trying to complete this task. So let's have fun and try our best. Welcome to the Big and Social Media Explosion, a program designed to bring you up to date with the latest trends. Hai ba. I'm Bob Gazelle, and I am your host for this segment, which is dedicated to the phenomenon that is TikTok. For those of you living in a bubble, TikTok is one of the largest social media platforms in the world right now. It has a whopping 1.5 billion active monthly users. Không quên hít vào. Đấy, khi hít vào, ending sounds và các đập là nói rõ hơn rất nhiều. Tiếp tục, originally, 1, 2, 3. Originally a dance app, TikTok now embraces an audience which includes business, fashion, fitness, self-care, top tips, and much, much more. Hít vào. 1, 2, 3. One of the biggest trends on TikTok is drop shipping. This is the movement of products directly from a retailer to a buyer. TikTok has become a viable marketing platform for this and is extremely effective at promoting brand awareness. If you think social media is killing older technologies, think again. Book Talk is a community who enjoys talking about books. The community has over 100 billion views. It has become a great place to go to find more reading material. Hít vào, 1, 2, 3. So, is TikTok a good thing? I guess the answer to that question is down to you. Everything is useful if it's used in balance with other activities. Just don't become a mindless TikTok zombie, endlessly scrolling through random content at the expense of your family and friends. These platforms are cleverer than you and designed to be very compelling. Just realize that a day spent scrolling is a day you can never get back. In all honesty, were those 300 videos of raccoons playing around really worth losing your own social network for? Food for thought indeed. That's all from me. Thank you and surf safe. Trời ơi, mệt mỏi rất nhiều. Nhưng mà không có ai sợ đúng không? Chỉ là mệt mỏi thôi. Đây. So, teleprompting, great tip. And lastly, everybody, the last tip for today is beatboxing. Beatboxing. Today we will only do number 1. Forget number 2, forget number 3. So, a big, tall teddy bear, kindly tasted tea to better taste the kitchen ta-ta-ta-ta. Không sao. Thôi, bắt đầu. Ý là bật, nói mang, nói rõ, and tập trung. Bật. Okay, so lip, teeth, throat. Lip, teeth, throat. Okay.
Hey guys, so this is just going to be a quick tutorial on how to do 3 basic beatbox patterns. So the sounds you're going to need to know in order to do these beats are the basic BTK. The B's are going to be kick drums, T's are hi-hats, and K's are snares. Okay, so
please practice that 1 second. Again. Okay. Bass, snare, and drum.
So the way this is going to work is that I'm going to do the beats twice in full speed, so the speed that you normally do it at, and then twice at a slower speed. So the first beat goes like this. And slowed down, it should sound something like
Okay, practice that for a second slowly. Okay, slowly. Ý nghĩa là làm liên tục, không làm hoàn hảo đâu, không ai quan tâm. Đây là baby beatbox. So one more time, everybody. Ôi là trời, vui đấy. Very good, everybody. Round of applause, a lot of hearts for you. Thank you. And lastly, everybody, to just summarize today, thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining. Thank you to Ms. Hang from Twinkl, Vietnam. Thank you to Emma for co-hosting. Thank you for all of you teachers joining with the intention of improving and helping your students achieving their goals. Focus on intelligibility. Is your student able to be understood? Can he understand others? And be honest. Hey, if you speak this way, people will not understand. they will understand that it's a serious lesson. It's not apples and bananas. It's intelligibility. Number 2, be realistic. Be coherent about outcomes. Yes, we want to speak like Hitler and Ho Chi Minh and Obama and maybe even Trump, but those are not realistic goals. Not when we are learning accents and phonetics. I would suggest you find Ko Tien vào Twinkl. She lives in Ho Chi Minh. I see her on TikTok all the time, and her English is amazing, very intelligible. But her accent is not perfect. But that's not important. She's Vietnamese. She understands the challenges, and introducing your student to a Vietnamese who can speak English very well and intelligible can really motivate them. Don't worry about being perfect. Worry about the energy behind the speech. Worry about repetition and motivation. Number 4, discuss in a group. What is everybody's goal? What is everybody's reason to learning English? Everybody is different. But when we understand that Phuong An wants to be a TikToker and Khoi wants to study in Germany, we are not only aware, but we become supportive. And we will support our motivation. We can achieve our goals together as a class, rather than having a teacher in front of you saying, listen and repeat. Đi, đu, ôi là trời đau đầu quá, không ai quan tâm, tất nhiên mà tập trung thì thôi. Học cùng nhau là đi xa hơn, đi vui hơn và tìm thành công. Tất nhiên. Thank you, everybody. It's been so fun presenting with you, speaking with you. Thank you, Han, for putting together this.
Thank you, San. Thank you,
No, I
everyone.
should be thanking you.
And goodbye.
I saw Leon raised his hand the time before at the beatboxing. Do you want the example?
We want to try to beatbox, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually a very good beatbox. I already beatbox a lot.
Why don't you do us?
Ooh.
I even have a new type of beatbox. I like to beatbox and hum a song at the same
do?
time.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Yeah, check it out.
Mm, 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 mm. Ah. Whoa, Leon, that's cool. That's your own twist there, right there. Thank you for sharing. You're a great example of not having fear when speaking, Leon.
I already speak English my whole life, so basically I got used to it.
Yeah, do you feel fear
only
when speaking a
language-
foreign language?
The only language that I kind of fear speaking is Portuguese. I'm not that good yet.
Mm.
It might be
thank you
crazy
for
to
telling me.
say that I don't know how to speak Portuguese, even though I was born in a Portuguese-speaking country, but it was because I went to an English-speaking school. So I only started to learn Portuguese at like 3rd grade.
Yeah, well, hopefully the tips today helped you, Leon. They can be applied to any language, and not only language, but communication in general. Thank you for sharing, Leon. Would anybody else have a final question before we part ways? You can always comment on the posts on Twinkl Vietnam Facebook's page, on Instagram. If you want to continue the conversation, I will gladly chat with you on the posts. You can message me or continue exchanging with Twinkl, which really, as you saw today, has a ton of resources to make the journey of speaking fun. Oh wow, I saw a friend request rồi. Thank you các bạn kết nối với Thầy ở Facebook. Thank you.
Are you still learning Vietnamese, Hector?
Thầy chưa bao giờ học tiếng Việt đâu, nói học tự nhiên, học đi cà
Thầy
phê,
tự học
học đi hẹn hò, học đi bia hơi.
Trời ơi, nghe mệt mỏi quá thầy ơi. Nghe phải vừa nghe vừa đoán nữa đó thầy.
Everybody say when I speak là rất đau đầu. But cảm ơn các cô, các thầy giáo, các bạn tham gia với thầy Sơn và Emma và Hang hôm nay. Thầy rất hy vọng chúng ta gặp nhau tiếp và không phải là lần đầu tiên. Thì các bạn tham gia hôm nay. See you again soon.
Em chơi là
Thank you everybody.
Thank you for the call. Bye.
chào.
Have a good night everybody.
Happy New
Thank you for joining.
Chào.
See you everybody. Cảm ơn các bạn.